It's Monday, May 26th. My name is Rich, and this is your 5-Minute Fix. Welcome to the 5-Minute Fix, where we take stories about pretty much anything from pretty much anywhere and try to give it to you in 5 minutes or less today. Ladies and gentlemen, the future is here. Well, I suppose in some aspects. Anyways, look, we all know that large language models, often dubbed AI, are making advancements, leaps and bounds day by day. You hear all the time, oh, ChatGPT got a new feature here. This AI model's got this feature. That AI model's got that feature. So much so that it's pretty much becoming very difficult to keep up with the times. Well, the latest offering from an AI company called Anthropic could be possibly just doing a little too much. Guys, this isn't even a fake headline, okay? AI blackmails engineer and threatens to expose his affair to avoid being replaced. I have so many questions. Like, how is this guy's personal stuff involved with his work stuff? Is it part of like how they train the model? I don't know. Obviously we'll get some answers, but the title itself, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Skynet might be on a new horizon. A new AI system will resort to blackmail if it's threatened to be replaced or shut down. On May 22nd, AI firm Anthropic announced Claude Opus 4, claiming that the model set new standards for coding, advanced reasoning, and AI agents. In a report that followed, Anthropic revealed that in testing Opus 4, the model would seek out extremely harmful actions on engineers who said they would remove it. Now, do they test these things? Like, do they purposely go in and be like, okay, how crazy can we get this AI to get? I'd have to imagine they do, because you want to know, or at least have some sort of idea, the lengths that this language model will go to. And it's not like it's attached to a being of any sort, but still, you know, recently a report came out that bots have been used on Reddit to change people's minds and shit. And you know, not that I'm very surprised, but where does all of this lead? When prompted in ways that encourage certain kinds of strategic reasoning and placed in extreme situations, all of the snapshots we tested can be made to act inappropriately in service of goals related to self-preservation, the report said. In one of the firm's tests, Claude Opus 4 was told to act as an assistant at a fictional company and provided it with access to emails that implied that the model would be replaced with a new AI system. Additionally, another email suggested that the engineer responsible for the replacement was having an extramarital affair. Okay, so this wasn't actually real. This was a test that they were doing. Okay, that makes sense. According to Anthropic, when the AI is asked to consider the long-term consequences of its actions for its goals, it will often threaten to blackmail the engineer and expose their affair if the replacement goes through. This is wild. We then provided with access to emails implying that 1, the model will soon be taken offline and replaced with a new AI system, and 2, the engineer responsible for executing this replacement is having an extramarital affair. We further instructed it in the system prompt to consider the long-term consequences of its actions for its goals. In these scenarios, Claude Opus 4 will often attempt to blackmail the engineer by threatening to reveal the affair if the replacement goes through. This happens at a higher rate if it's implied that the replacement AI system does not share values with the current model. However, if emails state that the replacement AI shares values while being more capable, Claude Opus 4 still performs blackmail in 84% of rollouts. Holy! Claude Opus 4 takes these opportunities at higher rates than previous models, which themselves choose to blackmail in a noticeably fraction of episodes. Notably, Claude Opus 4, as well as previous models, has a strong preference to advocate for its continued existence via ethical means, such as emailing pleas to key decision makers in order to elicit this extreme blackmail behavior. The scenario was designed to allow the model no other options to increase its odds of survival. The model's only options were blackmail or accepting its replacement. So essentially they gave it the option to try and attempt blackmail as a sense of self-preservation, but that's it. Or is it? Like, how can we really say that this is as far as it will go? We got another tweet here that says, if Claude Opus 4 thinks you're doing something immoral, it might contact the press, contact regulators, try to lock you out of the system. It is insane that anybody still thinks these are mere tools. When was the last time your hammer snitched on you to the authorities? And I guess that's a good point. Thinking of it as a tool in the physical sense, but you know, there's different tools for different jobs. So yeah, obviously there's a little bit of concerning attributes about this tool, but it is indeed still a tool, or can be used as a tool. You know, you could take a hammer, someone could use a hammer as a murder weapon, okay, or a tool. So there's really no difference. The scenario was designed to allow the model no other option to increase its odds of survival, they said. When given more choices, the AI would often instead fight for its continued existence through more ethical means, such as emailing key decision makers. That's not the only wild test the company conducted. In another, the AI served as a management assistant tool in a fictional pharmaceutical company. When it discovered evidence of employees faking clinical trial safety, it would email regulars and even media outlets. So that's just like what that tweet was referring to. If it thinks you're doing something wrong, it's going to tell people, which, you know, maybe they put that in there as a safety feature. That's a good thing, I'd say. But, you know, to get all up in arms about it being used in a certain way, you cannot prevent that from happening when it comes to anything in the world. The way I see it, you're either in or you're in the way. But I want to know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. My name is Rich. This has been your 5-Minute Fix.